Hi, good evening. How was your day? Did you get the chance to rest even just a little? Maybe you are feeling a little tired. Or maybe you are just feeling a little lonely tonight. That's okay. Some nights are just like that. Tonight's story is a little tale I wrote about a tiny mouse who is swept up by magic and begins a curious, mysterious adventure. Get cozy in bed. Take a slow, deep breath and let your body relax as you listen to the story. I hope it brings you a little peace. Little Mouse Lito and the Puddle's Magic. Deep in the corner of the forest, under the roots of an old tree, lived a little mouse named Lito. He lived with his father, his mother, and a baby sister who had just been born. They slept side by side, chatted quietly, and listened to the sound of the rain while eating warm meals together. Lito loved his quiet, gentle life. But sometimes he found himself wondering, what's out there beyond the forest? I want to go far away someday to see a world I've never known. The longer his peaceful days went on, the more tiny seed of adventure began to grow quietly inside his heart. One morning, after gentle rain had stopped, a sparkling puddle appeared along the forest path. Lito leaned over to take a look. His tiny reflection shook on the water's surface. What if I could become someone else? He thought. Just then, plop! His little paw slipped, and he fell right into the puddle. When Lito opened his eyes, he had hands and legs he didn't know. His small mouse voice was now a strange, human one. Did I turn into a human? The forest he knew so well looked like a completely different place, and somehow he felt it as if someone far away was calling his name. He couldn't hear a voice, but he knew deep down he was being called. So Lito began to walk towards the world beyond the trees. The town was loud, crowded, and confusing. Lito was overwhelmed. He was tired, hungry, and lost. At last, he sat down on a bench at the corner of a busy street. What should I do? Just then, a tiny bell rang softly nearby. Lito looked up, and there, a little flower shop stood in the morning light. The flowers on display looked calm and alive. A woman in a white apron stepped outside. Her hair was gray and soft like clouds. She looked at Lito and smiled kindly. Oh dear, that's the hungriest face I've ever seen. She went into the shop, then came back with a warm little bundle. I baked this apple pie this morning. It's still warm. Go ahead, have a bite. Lito's eyes opened wide. He unwrapped the bundle slowly. The soft crust, the sweet smell of apples, Each bite was gentle, warm, and somehow familiar. It's delicious. A small tear rolled down Lito's cheek. The old woman didn't say anything. She just sat beside him on the bench. After a little while, she said kindly, "If you'd like, would you help me arrange the flowers a bit? They like being touched by gentle hands." Lito nodded a little and reached out to the blossoms. They felt soft and full of life. From then on, Lito helped at the flower shop, watering the plants, putting them in a nice line, and listening to the whisper of their petals. One day, Lito saw an old man trip and fall on the sidewalk. Books and papers went flying. Lito ran over right away. "Are you all right?" He helped gather everything with quiet hands. The man sat up slowly and looked at Lito. "Thank you. You truly helped me." Then, from his coat pocket, he pulled out a small golden button. "This," he said, "is a special button. When you are feeling lost, just look into it, and it will help you remember what matters most in your heart." Lito held the button in his hands. It was warm and round, and it glowed softly as if holding a little light inside. A few days later, Lito was walking through the town square when some children began to tease him. "Look at his clothes. Why does he talk so weird?" Lito looked down. His steps stopped. He felt like the whole town was too big, too loud, too far from home. His hand found a button in his pocket. He took it out with shaking fingers and looked inside. There, glowing gently, he saw his cozy home under the tree roots, his mother's warm smile, his father's gentle eyes, and his baby sister laughing as she walked. I wasn't alone. I forgot, but I really was happy back then. At that moment, the button began to shine. A soft breeze blew past him, and a single star moved across the sky. At his feet, a small puddle had appeared. Lito bent down and looked into it. There was his reflection as a human. But his eyes didn't shake anymore. "Thank you," he whispered. "I've learned so much. But I want to go home." Lito closed his eyes. When he opened them again, he was back in his soft, sorrow-filled bed. "Lito, you are okay?" His mother's gentle voice, his father's warm paws, and his baby sister climbing up on his chest, laughing. "I'm home," Lito whispered, and closed his eyes again. That night, Lito slept deeply and peacefully. Even in his dreams, the forest wind blew softly. and sitting in the corner of his little home, the golden button glowed gently, so that he could always remember what matters. The next morning, the old flower shop lady found a tiny surprise at her doorstep, a leaf-like letter and some little footprints resting on the petals. The note said, "Thank you, I'm going home. Your apple pie was warm and so delicious. I loved watering the flowers and hearing them whisper. Thank you for your kindness. If I ever miss the smell of flowers, may I come back someday?" The old woman closed her eyes gently and held the letter close to her heart. "Anytime, little one," she whispered. "The flowers will be waiting." She gave a small wave to the sky, then turned back to her blossoms and gave them a drink of morning light. That's the end of tonight's story. Thank you for listening. Sweet dreams. Good night.